Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in today, for being a co-creator here on the channel. And I'm excited to get into today's reading. So I'm going to start with the traditional tarot cards, but the first thing I want to say is I've been picking up on an energy that's very emotionally charged. And the best way I can describe this energy is it's almost like a kind of longing that I'm sensing from someone or something towards you. So I'm almost picking up on, I'm hearing when you can't communicate with them, they'll come through in dreams. So I don't know if that's very specific to someone, like this may be someone you're dreaming about, or they may be dreaming about you. I'm hearing when certain outlets of access are closed off, their energy seems to find other outlets or avenues to connect with you. I'm also getting the words unfinished business. So it feels as though something is incomplete spiritually and energetically between the two of you, even though things seem to have completed themselves physically. So I'm going to shuffle the cards here and just see what wants to come through. So what can I channel about this person's energy that's coming up here? We have the World card in the upright position. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, but also the Ace of Wands reversed. So what I'm feeling here is that with the Ace of Wands reversed, there's someone coming through. By the way, it's very likely that I will be channeling many different threads of energy throughout this reading. So I tend to pick up on the most dominant energy threads that want to come through the reading. These can connect with something happening within you internally, with an external person or situation, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be any form of external person or connection. This also, of course, could be a thread that doesn't necessarily apply to you at the moment, but I will be channeling into many different kind of pieces of messages and different potential individuals throughout this reading that could be connecting with the collective in some way. So what I'm picking up is someone feels like they missed an opportunity with you or missed some kind of window, missed a chance with you. However, rather than this feeling of missing a chance causing this person to shut down or close off, I'm hearing it's only making them come closer to you, energetically speaking, psychically. I feel like this person has kind of a determinedness or a determination about their energy, even if they're not showing that in the physical world. I'm getting that from your end, you may very well be thinking that this is over, but on this person's end of things, their mind and their energy actually seems to be extremely active towards you. The thing I'm getting about this energy is that because they seem to be so active towards you, I'm seeing a letter, an envelope that's sealed with a heart. So it's almost like I'm hearing this person has a love letter that they haven't given you yet. But I feel like that could be symbolic, as though they've kind of sealed up their feelings towards you, how they really feel about you, how they really think towards you. And they're holding on to that envelope, so to speak, but they haven't given it to you yet. Now, what I see here with the World card is that you bring this sense of wholeness to this person. And I know that's a weird way to describe it, but it's the best word that I could find for it. Because what I'm getting from them is somehow they feel more complete in your presence. They feel more themselves because I'm getting that you bring through aspects of their higher self into their physical embodiment. And strangely enough, I'm picking up that this may be something you've even noticed perceptibly around this person in the past. So there may have been times where you actually felt like you saw this person acting or communicating or being more of a higher version of themselves in your presence. That may have not only surprised you at times, but I'm getting it even surprised them and people around them as well. I feel like there's something about you that highlights this person's higher self to themselves, that brings through more of those higher self aspects into their day-to-day interactions, communication, and just their general embodiment physically of themselves. And that's what their soul means when it's saying here that they feel more whole or more complete in your presence. They're saying, I feel like it's safe to be more of my higher version of self. It's interesting that concept of safety just came up here. That kind of just slipped through the channeling, so to speak. But maybe this is someone who's felt unsafe for a while to really embody this higher version of themselves. I'm hearing safe to be soft. I feel like you bring out a softness in this person, like some kind of emotional quality about them that surprises them and maybe even scares them a little bit, because I'm hearing they can't stop it. They can't control it when they're around you. And I feel that in many cases, this person may have actually chosen to avoid you or to kind of push you away because they were afraid of how you bring up emotions within them that they don't have the ability to control or to stop. It's interesting though, because I see with the Six of Pentacles that this person feels like you've given them a gift that they've not repaid. But this gift isn't literal. It's not material. I feel that you gave this person something energetically, emotionally, spiritually that they feel as though they don't deserve, and they're struggling with that. But I'm getting that they also have this desire to give back to you something of equal value. And again, I'm talking about something very emotional and energetic here. I feel like in many cases, you gave this person a feeling, the feeling of being seen or the feeling of just being really alive, which sounds so strange. But I do keep getting that from this person, that they just felt so alive around you, enlivened in some way. And I really feel that's because of this dynamic of how you brought through more of their higher self, which is really just their whole self, their complete self fully expressed. The sense I get is that this is someone who has been walking around living and acting as almost like half of themselves, not being fully themselves, being very like restrained in some way. And I'm even getting that most of the people that know them tend to know them as this restrained version of themselves. But with the Knight of Swords coming out here, I feel like internally this person already knows something that they haven't shared with you yet. It's almost like they've already come to, I'm hearing, a futuristic decision about what they want, or about an action they're going to take, or something that they're going to give to you, something that they're going to do here. But they've not been vocal about this with you yet. You may have no idea that this person is thinking of you at all, let alone coming to this point of being very decisive about something that they want to give back to you. I'm hearing without expectation. Like this person doesn't really know how you're going to react to what they give you in return for what they feel you've given them. I'm hearing a confession. They may be giving you some kind of confession. Maybe you essentially dropped hints or showed this person how you were feeling about them, and they're wanting to give you some kind of confession in return or open up about how they're feeling towards you in return, but they haven't done that yet. I still get this I'm hearing an energy of constraint in the present, of restraint. It's like they're restraining themselves. Interesting. So it's like they were showing up more fully. They were being more open, but now they're restraining themselves. They're trying to hold themselves back again, regain their composure is what I'm getting here. Maybe they see themselves as being reckless for how they opened up to you to such a great degree, or opened up. It's more so the way they opened up in your presence. I almost see like a flower opening though. It's like they really blossomed around you in some way. I'm hearing something about them being in their element, like when you were in their life or when you were more connected to them, this person just seemed to blossom. They seemed to really be all of themselves. They seemed to be more enlivened. And there's some kind of contrast here that's showing them something powerful, because I feel like now they're again trying to restrain themselves. They're back to, I'm hearing, their old life or whoever they were or however they acted before those moments of interacting with you or connecting with you. And now they're realizing through contrast just how special meeting you truly was and what it really brought forth through them. It's almost like they didn't fully realize the value of this gift that you gave them through your presence until they were disconnected from it. And now they're being shown through the contrast, the value of the gift. That's what I'm picking up really strongly here. And that's why this person feels like this fire has been lit under them that's making them want to give back to you something, I'm hearing, of equal or greater value. But again, they don't really expect any kind of reaction from you when they come forward with this, when they give you this version of their gift here. They're not really sure how you're even going to respond to it. I want to know a bit more about what this person is so determined about or so decisive about, because in the physical, there seems to be a lot of stillness, but the cards are energetically showing so much fast movement. It's almost like they've decided that futuristically, at some point in the future, they're going to move on something very quickly. Yeah, attachment in the reverse. They've decided to let something go. They've decided to, I'm hearing, to reveal something that they've been keeping to themselves. Now, this might be revealing something to you. This may be sharing some part of themselves with the world. There's some kind of mask coming off here that other people didn't even really know they were wearing. I feel like many people knew them for their mask and didn't even realize that it was a mask to begin with. But what I'm getting is that they're letting this aspect of themselves go that was hiding, or in some cases, this could be something very specific in their life that had become really heavy. But the thing with this as well, with door to value reversed, is that I feel the reason it's taken them so long to let this go is because whatever it is they're releasing, whatever they're revealing, it's not just something that they're letting go in itself. It's attached to something emotionally within them, some past emotional pattern within themselves. And I'm picking up very strongly that this was a pattern around doubting their own worthiness, doubting their own value. They may have had self-esteem issues. They may have struggled with really trusting themselves or believing in themselves or seeing their value. And I'm getting that this is why, even though they've decided that ultimately they're going to have to let this go, it connects with this emotional pattern within themselves that they're still healing. And that's why they've been so slow to release whatever this is. What else can I channel here about what this person is letting go? Can I channel anything else about what they're letting go? Okay, so something that's been keeping them stuck to a certain level, tied to a certain level, kind of in a rut. I almost feel as though this person was on a very specific timeline. And of course, whenever we're on any kind of timeline, we're on that particular timeline because it connects to a frequency. So that timeline is like a trajectory of our lives that also comes with specific friendships, social groups, sometimes physical locations, jobs, relationships, opportunities. And our frequency that we've really stabilized keeps us locked into that particular timeline. And the sense that I'm getting is that prior to meeting you or connecting with you, this person was on a timeline. I'm hearing a mediocre timeline. They were on a timeline that connected with them from a place of still really not having a strongly developed sense of self-worth. They were on a timeline where their opportunities, their manifestations, their successes were naturally limited, but it kind of goes back to them not showing up fully as themselves. This gets very quantum, but the more that we peel back the layers and come back to that core frequency within ourselves, the higher vibrational timeline we experience, because our core vibration, our most core version of self, is also our highest vibration. So the more that we are in alignment with that core part of ourselves and embodying that frequency more consciously, with all of those levels, layers, programs thrown off, the more easily we are able to vibrate at a higher vibrational timeline. So in this person's case, when they were showing up as half of themselves, as we've been saying, not really showing up as their fullest, most core, authentic self, this was naturally limiting them in terms of what timeline they could access. And they weren't able to access their higher vibrational timelines. But what I'm getting is when you allowed this person to open up in your presence, again, I'm seeing that flower that's like blossoming. They felt that when they were around you. And really, it was helping them tap into more of that core frequency, which was naturally raising their energy and like giving them this preview into a higher vibrational timeline. I'm getting it was almost like a glimpse into a higher timeline. I keep getting the name Peter for some reason for someone. But what I'm getting is what happened is it's almost like they looked back and thought to themselves, yes, it was wonderful to experience this timeline, but I can't stay here because there's still loose ends that I have to tie up on this previous timeline. Or maybe in some cases, they simply just hadn't really let go fully of this part of themselves. I'm hearing this part of their inauthentic self, that mask that was actually connecting with that lower vibrational timeline. So I feel almost as though there was a time temporarily where the two of you were both getting a glimpse into this high vibrational timeline where you were both connecting with each other in some kind of brief but really beautiful, mutually supportive kind of way. And that experience gave you both a preview into something. But then what I'm getting is the energy kind of dropped back down. And that's why to you on the surface, it looked like this person missed some kind of an opportunity with you. It felt like they missed the boat, so to speak. But really, that glimpse has stuck with them. They never have been able to forget what it was like to be around you, how it made them feel, how they felt like they were expressing more of themselves than ever before, and the kind of timeline that gave them a glimpse into. And now they're realizing the contrast between that and the mediocre timeline that they're currently living. And this is why they've come to that decision that they're going to have to release whatever attachments are keeping them stuck to this mediocre timeline. But it's almost like all of this has to happen energetically before they come towards you in the physical realm. And I'm hearing this is the reason for the delay. So if you've been in a situation where you feel as though there's been some kind of delay here, or something hasn't gone according to plan, it's because this person has to accomplish it energetically. They have to let go of these heavy attachments, keeping them stuck to this mediocre timeline. They have to free themselves and rise onto a higher timeline to be free to connect with you physically in the 3D. And until they reach that point, this connection can't be forced in the physical world. And that's what I'm getting here very strongly. So I am going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards. And I said that we were going to look into many threads of energy. So I'm going to shift into just reading your aura, channeling into whatever else wants to come through. But if you do want more on this specific situation, I will be diving deeper into this in the extended version of the reading. So if you'd like more details on this, I'll leave a link to the extended where you can listen either from YouTube memberships or on Patreon. Those links will be in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. So, okay, let's go ahead and just generally do an aura check for you. I'm getting that there's something going on with your root chakra. So, what is happening with the root chakra? I'm hearing a recalibration, a restabilizing. Angel of Strength in the upright position. I'm hearing coming back into your state of confidence and stability. So I'm getting letter initials L, E, O, R, and Y. Those could be in someone's name. This also, of course, within those letters spells the sign of Leo. So someone could have Leo energy in their birth chart. Leo season could be significant. Maybe the months of, I would say maybe even July or August could be significant for someone. But we also have Goddess of the Moon and strategy in the reverse position. So what I'm getting very strongly is that there was something that destabilized you for a time in your root chakra, but I'm hearing willfully. I'm hearing that you chose either consciously or on a soul level to temporarily immerse yourself in some kind of situation that is out of your norm, out of your ordinary, something that you knew would unground you a bit, but I'm hearing it would also activate you. I feel as though this was some form of soul activation that had to happen through a period of time where you felt unusually ungrounded, because I'm getting peace is very much your baseline, probably being more so in a hermit mode has been your baseline. But I feel that you allowed someone or something to take you away from that baseline of stability and peace for a period of time to kind of let you be shaken up for a time. But I keep getting it emphasized. This was just on a time limit. Like this was a temporary situation. It was always meant to be temporary because it was meant to activate you. Now you've received the activation and you're going back into the stillness. You're pulling back in. You may be in that hermit mode. Again, this message won't be for everyone, so only take it if it connects. I'm seeing a movie theater for some reason. Maybe that's relevant to someone. But I'm getting that with strategy reversed, I'm hearing you're learning to find stability in the not knowing. And this seems to be a general theme of your life as well. Being able to find your inner core of stability through circumstances that feel deeply unknown or even sometimes actively destabilizing. I'm getting that this particular soul activation that's taken place could not have happened through the stillness or through the hermit mode, that it actually, this specific activation had to occur through a situation that you felt really intuitively guided to. Your soul pulled you there, but you may have been really confused as to why. Because again, it really took you away from your baseline of peace, of inner stability, maybe even just like groundedness physically. And yet it felt so necessary that it literally felt inevitable. And I feel this phase of your life, I'm getting chills all over as I say this. I feel this phase of your life is also about learning to trust when your soul pulls you to something, even if it's outside of the box for you, even if it's outside of your norm, even if it temporarily does feel a little chaotic or a little destabilizing. You're learning how to follow those pulls that you get at a soul level regardless. I do feel as though this soul activating situation, yes, it put you in a situation where you felt like, I'm hearing out of control. Maybe emotionally, things felt out of control for a while, maybe circumstances. And I'm also getting that at the end of this period of time, which again was temporary, where you were really ungrounded, but being activated on a soul level, you were like finally put in a situation where you just felt a sense of rejection or a sense of being underappreciated or not really seen. And I feel like that was the point where you knew the activation had completed itself and it was time to step away. It was time to pull back into yourself. I'm hearing to pull back to your sources of appreciation, maybe to set boundaries with people or things that weren't appreciating you or weren't seeing you, and to refocus yourself on the people and things that are appreciating you. But yet it wasn't a mistake. I'm getting it was necessary, even though it led to this situation where you ultimately felt some sense of rejection or some sense of being unseen or underappreciated. There was still an activation received from this, or maybe even transmitted as well. You may have transmitted your own activation to someone or something else in this situation. I'm also getting something about you coming back into your power, you remembering who you are, restabilizing yourself, and the importance. It's like this message is coming through like, yes, this period of time that felt ungrounding, it was necessary for you, but so was that choice that you made to ultimately step away. Now you've received that activation and it's time to allow it to integrate by settling into it, by recalibrating, by really reclaiming all of your power here. Okay, so what was the purpose of this? What was the result of this activation? All tied up in the reverse position. I'm hearing it broke something stuck loose. Now, maybe you did this for another person, or maybe this happened within you, where some byproduct of this activation is that I keep seeing something about the sacral chakra, something that may have been kind of stuck in your energy field was broken loose here. If this does relate to the sacral, then it may be that what was broken loose is around allowing yourself to just be present fully in the moment with yourself, with your body. I'm hearing, this sounds so strange, but I'm hearing that something about this experience helped you actually come back into your body in like a very visceral way. I know that sounds like a strange way of saying it, but it somehow put you back in touch with like your physical body in some way, whether it was something to do with how you're caring for your body, how you're nourishing your body, how you're moving your body, how you're attuned to your body, or maybe just physical presence, like allowing yourself to be fully physically present in a situation because it was so ungrounding. You had really no choice but to be present with yourself because there was no figuring it out, because it didn't really make sense, because you felt out of control. All you could really do was be present with yourself physically. And that could have been a result, or I should say, that could have been that experience of needing to be present with yourself could have been what shook loose some stuck energy of your sacral chakra that was always trying to understand the moment rather than being in it. So that feels like it may have been a very powerful activation for someone. But I do feel that if another person was involved here, it's very likely that you actually broke loose some stuck energy within this person's field or their life. Or again, it could be a group of people. It could be an environment, a place. And of course, then we get the attachment card reversed. So getting back to the thread of energy that came out earlier, for some of you, maybe I've been talking about that person or situation, and they were the one that came into your life that left you feeling really ungrounded and ultimately a bit rejected or underappreciated, at least for a time. But there's also something stuck that you both broke loose within the other. And what you broke loose for them could have had to do with that heavy attachment or maybe multiple attachments in their life connected with an inauthentic version of themselves that they now know they have to take action to release with the action card in the upright position. I also feel that you could have pushed this person into positive forward movement action in their life generally, not even just related to this one dynamic, but in a general sense as well. The numbers 1 and 7 may be significant to someone listening. I do feel though, and I keep getting back to that situation, that thread of energy must be so strongly for whoever's manifesting this through. But with indecision, I feel like, and door to spirit, this person's at a spiritual crossroads right now where they are, it's not even so much a decision because that decision they already made within themselves, but it's almost like they made the decision, but they're still standing at the crossroads. They already know what they're going to do. They know what choice they're going to make. It's just a matter of them pushing themselves forward on that pathway. It's almost like they're mentally saying goodbye to an old version of themselves or their life that they know is going to be inaccessible to them once they make this choice to elevate. But that choice has already been made. That's what I'm really, really picking up here. Now, for some of you, if this isn't an external person, that may be a spiritual crossroads you're at where you've already made a choice or you've made a decision, but you're almost like waiting to fully move onto that pathway, even though you already know where you're going. So that could be relevant for someone as well. But for many of you, I'm getting this is an external person coming up here. So I'm going to carry this on to the extended reading, and I'm actually going to continue your aura scan as well. So we're going to look at any other patterns or dynamics or situations that may want to come up in your energy. So if you want to continue with me to the extended version of this reading, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope that something here connected with you in a personal way. If anything did connect and you have anything you'd like to share with me or our community here, I would love to hear from you in the comments. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. Of course, if you do enjoy this content, I would love for you to subscribe here on the channel as well. But I'm going to go ahead and close things out. Thank you so much again for sharing your light and your energy with this beautiful space we're co-creating on YouTube. And I will connect with you here again in the next reading.